can make this work.
Good evening, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. It's absolutely a pleasure and honor to be here. I also would like to extend my thanks to these Turkish delights who always do incredible work in these kind of cultural centers. As an imam, I guess I've always given I've been asked to reflect a little bit about Ramadan and its meaning and the kind of spiritual transformation that it brings to Muslim communities. I'm only saying half humorously, the Ramadan and the kind of spiritual disciplines that we take on, it is all designed to make all those Christians and Jews to count their blessings. For those Christians who are fasting during the month of Lent by giving up chocolate and Diet Coke, and those Jews only fasting on Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av and still complaining, try my way to see how you are going to feel. It's about how many hours? I don't know, 14, 15, 16 hours of the year when it comes. When Ramadan comes in the summertime, that's when you badly want to go and visit your friends and cousins in Sydney or in Johannesburg so that you can go to a different hemisphere to engage with this. But all jokes aside, really, all the forms of disciplines that we take on, it's not a form of masochism. In Islam, in its infinite wisdom, it's a religion that invites people not only to intellectual, theological head journeys towards finding God and experiencing God. Islam, one of many wisdoms of this beautiful religion, deeply rooted within the Abrahamic faith, also says it's not possible to experience God only vertically. Understanding God and experiencing the presence of God in your life is not only a vertical experience, that it is also horizontal. In many parts of the place, in many verses of the Quran, God says, do you claim to love your Lord? Do you claim to love God? Then take that love of God, that vertical love, and make a difference in the life of other human beings. You have to take that love of God and serve fellow human beings. Serve God's creation in any way that you can, especially to those who are less privileged than you. As understanding God is an experiential reality, also loving God's creation, loving fellow human beings, trying to make a difference in their life is also an experiential reality. If you have never faced starvation, if you have never gone through hours of dehydration, if you don't have, for many parts of the world, I think the numbers are about 2 billion people, fasting in the most radical Muslim way is not an optional reality. It's a way of life. So Muslims, by taking these external disciplines, try to develop that sense of generosity, gratitude, and also empathy towards people who are not as lucky as them. And this, without necessarily putting yourself into that experiential journey of trying to empathize with the people who are less privileged than you, it's almost very difficult to only try to understand them from a far distant reality. The second, maybe central wisdom of Ramadan is, by forcing yourself to slow down, by abstaining from things to stop your external journey, in many ways, Ramadan is almost like a Shabbat for the whole month. The way in which our Jewish brothers and sisters try to do it once a week, to stop all the external journeys and speed up all the internal journeys. Try to slow down. When the world's largest, biggest, strongest religion, capitalism, is telling you to work more, buy more, achieve more, etc. Here's a religion once a year, about a month, you do less of that. Slow down in your external journeys and speed up in your internal journeys to see how you can audit yourself. I'm 43, what are my pluses, what are my minuses, what are the things that you would like to achieve in life, in the remaining years of your life. It's almost like an IRS auditing in your spiritual. And it's a month of a spiritual gym, almost. It's a month where you try to trim the fat of certain habits that you have developed, overeating that you have developed, certain habits of practices that fall short of upholding the ideals of your religion, your worldview, your culture. It's a month where you go through that internal audit of yourself. And lastly, I will end with this one, and all the dehydrated Muslim faces in the room, you will see how in how many minutes? in 2 minutes they will turn into lit Christmas trees. Ramadan is also an attempt to build habits. Like at the end of every Ramadan, I guarantee every Muslim says, why don't I live like this all the time? Why don't I just try to be as pious, as God conscious, as generous, as devout as I am in Ramadan? And we promise that this is going to be the case this year. I am going to keep the spirit of Ramadan, the taste and flavor of Ramadan in my life throughout the year. And then 2 months later, 3 months later, those practices sort of faded away. And 11 months later, this beautiful month, this beautiful queen of the calendar, Islamic calendar, comes again, gives you one more opportunity to push the ideals of this beautiful religion to your brain tissues, to your deeper DNAs, so that you will try to live in the following year faithful to those ideals. Thank you, and God bless every single one of you, and Ramadan Mubarak.